when I do videos randomly, more especially about the possible ticket that we're going to have, more especially from the opposition side, I've gotten people giving suggestions of Matiangi and Kalonzo Musyoka combined. And in this case, I want to do an extensive analysis on what will happen if Kalonzo Musyoka becomes the flag bearer and then deputized by Dr. Okengo Fred Matiangi, and then supported by Rigathi Gachagua and the entire opposition team. That is going to form the basis of this analysis here. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, take a second or two to subscribe. Secondly, my number is here. You can always hit me up, support the channel if you can, and also educate me through comment section on what you think I can be able to do better on my analysis. For those who have more information than me, share with me, especially the earlier generations. Please come through for me. Thank you so much for doing that. Let me dive into the topic today. Now, assuming in 2027, the opposition people come together and say our presidential candidate is Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, going to be deputized by none other than Dr. Okengo Fred Matiangi. In such a kind of a scenario, it's going to be an interesting ticket, because if these people get Gachagua backing them, they're going to have a very successful campaign. Let me first state it here that will take William Ruto home very early in the morning. Very early in the morning. Why? I'm going to show you here on this video. Number one, numbers. If Kalonzo Musyoka and Dr. Okengo Fred Matiangi come together, first of all, the two people will bring 4 million votes intact from Gusii and the Kamba region successfully. So that is 4 million starting base for the two. Secondly, they're going to get the backing of those people whose salaries have really been mutilated, whose pay slips have been mutilated by William Ruto. I'm talking about the employed, people, the middle class, people who are in government and in the private sector, employers, those people who are suffering from the pay slip with these affordable housing people, housing projects across the country. So those people are going to vote for the two candidates, for the two people. Why? Because they are going to represent change. They are going to at least help get William Ruto out of the political limelight. So if we get Kalonzo Musyoka and Dr. Okengo Fred Matiangi coming together, they are going to get some 4 million that is spreading across the country. People who are tired of William Ruto generally, and that will form a base of about 4 million. So 4 plus the 4 from the Gusii region, assuming that the 4 are also within the Gusii region, probably Matiangi and Kalonzo Musyoka will hit at 6 million votes intact that are tribeless. Now, moving now to the support they are getting from Mount Kenya. If Mount Kenya gives at least 5 million votes to their side, at least 5, these people are already talking of 11 million votes. And then they get Natembeya on board. They get people like Natembeya actually coming on board is able to bring a huge chunk of votes from the Western region. So if he's going to work with them, and of which I believe strongly he's going to work with this team, because Natembeya is a close friend of Uhuru Kenyatta and so a close friend of Matiangi. So these people must work together. Secondly, if these people are going to work together, that means that he's going to get a huge number of votes, probably 2 million votes from even the Western region. That is going to be an additional weight to the basket of Dr. Fred Okengo Matiangi and that one of Kalonzo Musyoka. So this is a formidable team to take President William Ruto home 2027. People might be having the perception about Kalonzo Musyoka, but the fact is the coming of Matiangi and Kalonzo Musyoka together, there is a way it solves the problems of each other, in that they supplement each other. In a nutshell, I mean that Kalonzo Musyoka, he has his weaknesses, which can be fixed by Matiangi's strengths. Matiangi has his weaknesses, especially in respect to the rule of law. So these weaknesses of Matiangi can be fixed by none other than Kalonzo Musyoka, because Kalonzo Musyoka respects the rule of law, being a senior counsel. So in a nutshell, we can put it categorically that this is the best ticket that can be taken from the opposition. In that, if we take it this way, Kalonzo Musyoka has been supported with these other guys, and people are also seeing Kalonzo Musyoka with the weaknesses he has. Then Matiangi comes in, people will feel like, okay, this is a good ticket, then these people are going to do better. So Fred and Steve-O can do a good job. It only requires themselves to package now on the campaign, because the two are not so good on campaigns and they are not orators. So they need people like Gachagua on board. They need people like Malala on board. They need people like Babu Owino. The people like Kalonzo, Simba Arati. They need people like Kamshomba. They need people across the country who are going to drive this campaign immensely. They need people like Mohammed Ali from the coastal region for this ticket to be complete. But politically, taking William Ruto home, it's a formidable team. Also, to add on it, we have to say also that if you look at these people coming together, it's not all numbers. that can make them a good ticket. Number one, they have also leadership qualities. If you take Dr. Fred Matiangi's behavior and leadership, he speaks a lot of sense. He does things in the right way most of the time. And that is what people want, the leadership aspect. For those who heard him when he came to the country, he spoke, and whenever he used to speak, you could tell that this person is different from the politics that we've been experiencing. He probably goes towards Kalonzo Musyoka's side. He tries to be a gentleman. That is what you call leadership. Now, if you also look at Matiangi when he was in the dockets of education and other dockets, he portrayed leadership. He couldn't just act. He used data. He used to hit right. Remember his time is when we had, I think, these two attacks, and Matiangi did a wonderful job. During that time, everything was managed very well. He faced challenges and he handled these challenges successfully. So having Dr. King of Fred Matiangi, it brings the leadership aspect in this team. Kalonzo Musyoka as well, he has led the party leader for quite some time, for the Wiper party for quite some time. So these kind of leadership qualities that he has borrowed has enabled him to act decently, which has actually kept him on the political limelight for quite some time. So if this ticket comes together, the leadership qualities, top notch. Let me go to the track record. Matiangi brings the track record that Kalonzo Musyoka does not have. So therefore, the track record makes it the best at this point. The track record makes the ticket perfect at this point. Now, let me go on to other thing. The expectations of Kenyans. Kenyans have an expectation that Kalonzo Musyoka, or maybe the coming regime, to solve problems for this country. Problems that have been brought by William Ruto and some of them from the past regimes. If they bring Kalonzo Musyoka and Matiangi together, the expectations of Kenyans are going to be achieved. Why? Matiangi brings the aspect of being a performer, making Kalonzo Musyoka to be also a performer as a result, and by default. So as a result, we're going to see Kenyans having the expectations met with this team. And that is why they're going to vote these people in immensely. So therefore, on this particular video, I want to insist it here that if these people come together, they can be able to do a very good game that can take William Ruto home. However, I also don't want to doubt it here that there could be challenges when this team comes together. What is number one? If people decide to intrude to Mount Kenya, they don't have a candidate who is the presidential flag bearer, and they also don't have a running mate. Then William Ruto takes advantage with his lieutenants to campaign against this Matiangi Kalonzo team. Eventually, William Ruto and his team might bear some fruits. And apart from that, if William Ruto bears fruits, he'll reduce the numbers that the team can receive. That's number one. Number two, William Ruto can decide to bestow a presidential candidate from the mountain region. And if it does so, this presidential candidate from the mountain region can take a significant amount of votes. If it gets a leader like Nyoro, for instance, manages to sway his mind, then support him, it's going to happen that way. But I doubt Nyoro can go to his side, because Nyoro always wants to be on the right side of the history. And he's a smart leader, and he's loved by the people of the Central Kenya, so it cannot work. But if he gets a leader and then he supports him, eventually we are going to have the votes of Matiangi and Kalonzo reduced. But we cannot say that they are going to be reduced so much that William Ruto can easily surpass and become the president that easy. It's not going to be that easy. But I also feel strongly that the Western region being excluded from the team, William Ruto can take advantage in Western Kenya and also try to sway them back to his side. But having Natembeya there, it's going to be a different case. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my take here. But I want to see your opinion on the comment section on Matiangi Kalonzo ticket. See you next time for more videos.